Some midweek action in the USL Championship, a big one at the end of August. It's Phoenix Rising playing host to Sacramento Republic. The 2023 Phoenix Rising season is brought to you by Equality Health. With former pro striker Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us here tonight. As we look at the Western Conference, already a draw tonight for San Antonio in their match against RGV. So Sacramento trying to reclaim that top spot with a win tonight, while Phoenix can jump the Switchbacks with 3 points of their own, down in 7th spot. But last time these two teams played, a night of horrors for Phoenix Rising, losing 4-0.
And you ask Juan Gary, he's going to want a reaction from his boys. It's never nice going away from home and conceding 4 goals. You want to be compact in the back, and that was not the case for Phoenix Rising. But for Sacramento Republic, they understand there's going to be a little bit of a revenge factor for Phoenix Rising at home. So how do you manage the moments for both of these sides? I think this game is going to be won and lost in that center of the field, and who's going to be more clinical in both 18-yard boxes.
Tonight's Game Changer presented by Hope High School Online, changing the game of education. It's Russell Cicerone.
And he has every single tool in the box. You see 13 goals on the season, the ability just to pop in the hole, but also get on the end of things. He's going to start on this left-hand side, and he's going to come into the interior. He can beat you 1v1, can beat you through combination play. If you're Mark Briggs, Russell Cicerone needs to be very good here tonight.
Well, last week for Phoenix Rising, they won their first game when conceding multiple goals. This was back and forth.
And you talked to Juan Gary earlier this week, Josh, and he said, look, the character from the boys to come and dig down when we're not playing at our best. You concede early, you have a reaction, and then you concede it once again. But you had your big-time players stand up in big-time games and look for them to keep growing from this performance on the road.
Tonight's Game Changer presented by Hope High School Online, changing the game of education. It is Jose Hernandez who gets the start in the middle tonight.
And we talked about playing in the center of the park for Phoenix Rising. Dictating tempo is going to be really key, and he's going to be at the thick of everything. Moving the ball from left to right, picking and choosing the times when to join the attack. Jose Hernandez needs to be confident in breaking lines in his passing range, and he needs to be a stalwart for Juan Gary essentially tonight.
We are building you up to first kick tonight from Phoenix, Arizona. It's Phoenix Rising, it's Sacramento Republic, and oh yeah, it's $1 beer night. It's presented by Modelo. We'll have lineups in first kick coming up next.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
We hold.
Hold. Silver vans are going for more right now. Should we? Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Depreciation's really heating up. You think? We just did 2.5%.
Hold. Now.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Already sold to Carvana.
Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Rio Grande Valley Toros at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health. Carvana will drive you happy. And by NAU Nationwide. Looking at Phoenix Rising starting lineup tonight for Juan Guerra. Midweek match, so 3 changes into the lineup.
I think you talk about fluidity on that front line for Juan Guerra. Varela, he's going to come centrally, fight trade. So his combination between Jose Hernandez, Renzo Zambrano, and that 3, Gabby Torres, Darnell King, they're going to stay high and wide, and they're going to provide the width to go forward. And it's all about Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga. Arteaga back to goal. He's going to stay high. So you're going to see Danny Trejo making those slashing runs from left to right, but also getting in behind his back line of Sacramento Republic, and those 2 need to be very good for Juan Guerra here at home.
On the other side for Sacramento Republic, a few changes here as well. 5 for Mark Briggs.
And it all comes down to Pirano. I think he's going to be the X factor for Mark Briggs. The ability just to beat you 1v1, to get on the end of things. But how does he get the service that he wants? And it's going to come with that relationship between him and Jack Gurr. Jack Gurr has to be very disciplined to pick and choose when to join the attack, but also when to double down and do his offensive duties. Desmond and Timmer, they need to be very good and stay compact and keep everything in front of them to get a clean sheet here from Mark Briggs on the road.
Pirano making his first start for Sacramento since being acquired from San Antonio FC. The team's preparing. You see Darnell King wearing the captain's armband tonight. Some final words of encouragement from the captain. He makes his 100th appearance in all competitions tonight for Phoenix Rising. So a milestone for Darnell King, wearing a Rising shirt and wearing that captain's armband tonight for the club. He's got his first assist of the season over the weekend at Las Vegas Lights as well. A big game here in the Western Conference to close out the night. The other 2 results, 0-0 between RGV and San Antonio, 3-1 currently to Las Vegas over New Mexico. There's the whistle, and away we go. It is Sacramento Republic and Phoenix Rising closing out this Wednesday night and the month of August here in the USL Championship. Last time out for Sacramento Republic, a 2-0 defeat against Orange County, but what a night it was at Hughes Stadium. Over 20,000 fans in attendance, celebrating the 10th anniversary of this club. But as Mark Briggs said, just disappointed overall with the result, with the performance. He said maybe the occasion got a bit better of us, but he said we just have to be more clinical. 19 shots, only 3 of them on target, and of course, no goals.
And I talked to him, what about some keys for this Phoenix Rising side? How are you going to be successful? And he said, we need to set up defensively the right way, do both sides of the ball extremely well, and be clinical. The chances are there for Sacramento Republic, but not having the inability to finish. And he also talked about the movement that we talked about in the open between Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga to pass on runners and be very compact in their defensive structure.
And as for Phoenix, of course, that dramatic 3-2 win at Las Vegas. Had to get that win. Prior to that game, they were 0-7-2 when allowing the first goal. They finally get their first win coming from behind as this is slipped in. Arteaga goes down, no whistle. To finish up that thought, they also got their first win when conceding multiple goals this season, something they'd yet to do. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will, with last week's result and getting a crucial 3 points. Couldn't lose 2 times this season to Vegas.
And I do think if you're Phoenix Rising, providing the width and trying to spread apart gaps within the back line of Sacramento Republic is going to be really key. And as those gaps open up, the movement from Manuel Arteaga, just like moments ago, playing off the shoulder between Desmond and Timmer, that's going to have a lot of success to get him into the interior and get him facing forward and around that 18-yard box.
Jared, good. Quick.
Jack Gurr, long cross. It's bouncing out of play. It'll give us a chance to look at tonight's availability report. It is brought to you by Spooner. Niall Dunn and Erickson Gallardo remain out. A couple of injuries for Verdi Sosa and Penagos as well for Sacramento Republic. Although no Kecko tonight, that is a big loss for them. Not in the 18. Matt LaGrassa also out. This is a 2-game road trip this week for Sacramento. They will head to Oakland coming up on the weekend, so a couple of games to look forward to. Phoenix Rising, it's the same, but they'll be facing RGV as Darnell King is in. King tries to square it, runs all the way through, and the shot is dragged wide. Fede Varela getting the start tonight and finding himself in a good scoring opportunity early.
And so much of the emphasis for Phoenix Rising is just playing out of the back and trusting that three-man center back to pick and choose when to play direct. But if you're Darnell King, you have a plethora of options. You just go by yourself. He cuts it back. If you're Varela, you're going to want this one back. You just need to hit it with the instep of your foot, open up your hips, pick out a corner. And it's a dream start for Phoenix Rising. But as he cuts across it, that's why you see it go up and wide. But I do think the movement from Darnell King and Gabby Torres for Juan Guerra is going to be really critical at just unlocking this back line of Sacramento Republic. Put a lot of pressure on Sanchez and Gert to do their defensive duties.
It's the third start this month for Fede Varela. His 14th overall as this runs out of play. Lopez returns it. It's Gurr towards the penalty spot. Trejo collects. And Trejo trying to touch this around the corner. Has his head up. He'll win a throw-in.
You just see how important Luis Felipe is for Mark Briggs.
Trejo pressured all the way to the end line and out of play by the captain, Lee Desmond.
Coming back to that thought about Luis Felipe. This covers so much ground. There's a lot of the dirty work, but also on the ball, very comfortable at just dictating tempo. So it's going to be very interesting to see who implements their identity on the opposition between Fernandez and Lopez and Zambrano and Hernandez for Phoenix Rising.
Shane Wheat to go right through the wickets and out of play. Varela. Mayor. Phoenix again showing its versatility in formation tonight. Juan Guerra is toyed with a back four, a back three at times this year based on personnel, who's available, who's playing. He said during halftime against the game against Vegas, didn't want to change the shape. They stayed in that back four. They said they wanted to press the ball a little bit more in the second half. They're able to do so and able to come away with the full 3 points, 3 goals on the night. Not an easy place to play with everything going on at Cashman Field.
But it's interesting, Josh. Now you're going to see how Phoenix Rising builds out. Sometimes it seems like they're building out with two, Fuenmayor and Stenberg. Traore, he's going to stay at home just a tiny bit, but look at the movement on the near part of your screen. Darnell King, he's going to press high, and he's going to be as that third striker on that top line. He's going to put a lot of pressure on Wheat. He needs to make a decision. Does he come centrally with Danny Trejo, or he's going to stay wide with Darnell King, just creating overloads on wide channels for Juan Guerra. And that's something that we haven't seen really in the early start of Phoenix Rising. You build out with two, you overload, you put a player higher, and just cause chaos and test the shape of opposition.
Zambrano. And Hernandez. Go over the top. Wheat had it covered. Not only is this Sacramento side one of the best attacks in the league, for the 4th best with 42 goals. They have the best defense, just 20 goals conceded this year, 9 clean sheets, that's tied for 6th. Play this in behind Archimed. Yeah, he was in an offside position. gives a look at Juan Guerra. We asked him last week about that game against Las Vegas. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is it a must-win? He basically said yes, and he said it's just a game we had to win. He said a million distractions. He said they put themselves in a tough spot, but in the end, when he walked into the locker room at halftime, he said the players were kind of going at it. He said that's exactly what I want to see, and they showed that on the field in the second half, coming out of Vegas with 3 points. On the far side, and Traore turns it over. Can it come through the middle? It was just behind Cicerone. Here's Fuenmayor. Floated forward, and Vitiello is there. Loaded forward again. Archimed, oh, that's a great first touch, but the last one nearly let him down. He keeps this in play. The referee blows his whistle here. Looked like Archimed went down, and Darnell King whistled for a foul. It is Archimed down, the Guadalupe international.
I think his spacing and his positioning is going to be really important for Sacramento Republic, because he's going to stay high and he's going to occupy the center backs of Phoenix Rising, so the players underneath him have the ability just to roam in and out of position. As he cuts it back, it's Stenberg that just comes in a bit late. You don't need to get that rash. Just slow down your feet, make him play negative, and your job is done as you lunge into that challenge. Archimed, very clever. He goes down, makes the most of it, and now Sacramento Republic is a very dangerous set piece as Jack Kerr stands over it.
Jack Kerr, 5 goals, 4 assists. Was a big part of that 4-0 win against Phoenix back at the end of July. A goal and an assist for Kerr. Kerr ready to deliver in towards the near post, and this thumped out of play.
You just see the frustration on the back end of it from Jack Kerr. He knows he should be doing better, just beating out that first marker. I think set pieces for Sacramento Republic are going to be really important, especially on the road.
Kerr once again floats this in. Stenberg to head it away. Lopez. Ball was the wrong one as it runs out of play. Phoenix Children's is expanding across the valley so we can all grow healthier together. Learn more at phoenixchildrens.org. Sacramento's 4-0 win against Phoenix at the end of July. That was their first win in league play against Phoenix since 2018. They faced off last year in the Open Cup with Sacramento getting the win in Sacramento. When it comes to league form, Phoenix really had their number. I think they played some revenge for the past couple years with that big result. Sacramento has been up towards the top of the table all year long. Mark Briggs has talked about how tough the summer months have been with injuries and really all the injuries happening at the same time. I think that's maybe something that Juan Guerra could talk about as well. But for Sacramento's sake, Mark Briggs talking about the depth, the character of the group that really kept his team churning at a high level. Just 4 losses this year, 2 losses over their last 11 games. King has to go to ground. This runs all the way out of play. That loss against Orange County over the weekend ended a 5-game unbeaten run. Before that, though, they were 4 wins and a draw over their previous 5. 11-3 goal difference as well. They're really starting to hit that peak form right when you want to.
And you could just tell that he was just so disappointed at the performance. 20,000 in the stands. Wanted them to do just a bit better in terms of the execution. Lack of defensive mistake on one end, and then you're caught chasing the game. You leave yourself extremely vulnerable going back the other way. So I do think if you're Sacramento Republic, just managing moments, being focused from minute 1 into minute 90, letting the ball do all the work. It's also being extremely ruthless, because we talked about how good Phoenix Rising is. Yes, inconsistent in terms of their results. But you look down the roster, quote unquote, he says, probably one of the best rosters in all of USL Championship, and we're not taking this game lightly whatsoever.
Speaking of that Phoenix inconsistency, they haven't won 2 straight games in league play since May, and they beat Hartford Athletic and Orange County. Orange County went looking better and better as the days go on. Orange County has just shot up the table. Orange County currently in 3rd spot. Traore, dispossessed by Gurr. Coming from behind, Gabby Torres with the foul. Christian Pirano just talking things over, and a word with Mo Traore and our referee tonight, Sergei Demyanchuk. Christian Pirano, his first start with the Sacramento Republic side, 1 assist for his new club as well. This is his 3rd appearance overall. After spending 4 seasons overall with San Antonio, including winning the 2019 Young Player of the Year award in the league.
And I do think he's going to be an X factor once playoffs arrive for Sacramento Republic. Mark Briggs was just raving about the quality that he brings and how he just fits into the culture, hardworking, but can do both sides of the ball. So slippery 1v1, draws a lot of fouls and puts a lot of pressure on opposing back lines and center midfielders.
We're seeing that pressure pay off. Foul against Zambrano.
Just a bit quicker, comes centrally. Just talk about how comfortable he is on the ball and glued to his foot. Late challenge from Zambrano, no question about it. And I do think if you get him, Russell Cicerone, Archimed on the front line, combining how expected Mark Briggs wants these boys to be playing, watch out for Sacramento Republic's once playoffs come around the corner.
It's a potential playoff preview depending on how it all shakes out. Obviously, Sacramento's battling for those top couple spots in the Western Conference. Phoenix has been in those bottom couple of spots, but of course a win tonight for Phoenix could take them over Colorado Springs into 6th. A win for Sacramento or a draw would still take them back to the top of the standings, and that is something crucial for Sacramento. They do have the head-to-head tiebreaker over San Antonio, beating them 3-1 this year, along with a draw as well. So they have the tiebreaker. Could help them win the Western Conference when it comes down to it, as tight as it's been. Here's Gurr. Going to play this in behind for Cicerone. Ran out of room, and it's out for a throw-in. Well, this portion of the match is brought to you by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Another $1 beer night for Phoenix Rising here tonight. Their 3rd of the season. They got a win against Greenville back in the US Open Cup earlier this year, and unfortunately they lost to Las Vegas at the end of May when they had their first in league play. Darnell King colliding with Sanchez. Referee has a decision to make. It's a yellow card to Sanchez.
It's a bad ball by Gabby Torres, to be fair. Tries to change the point of attack, but it's an even worse touch from Sanchez as it pops off. Just the positioning we talked about, Darnell King staying high and wide. The ability just to win these second balls to get himself in a dangerous area. Loose touch, has to recover it from Sanchez straight to the chest, no question about it. So now on a yellow card in the first 20 minutes. He needs to be very good and very disciplined in his positioning and the challenge that he decides to go into. On the other side of it, if you're Phoenix Rising, you go at him and you ask him questions.
Sanchez making his 9th start of the season, 21st appearance overall.
A caution has been issued by the referee to Sacramento Republic FC number 40, Alder Sanchez.
Play this over the top for Torres, not all the way out of play.
I do think a key for both of these sides is who's going to make those wing backs drop down and do more of their defensive duties than be on the attacking phase of the game. Because if you can make a back line of 5, there's going to be gaps in front of that line, but also in the wide areas just to create overloads. And so far, Phoenix Rising making Sanchez and Gerd drop down. Players that outside wing backs. So many times we see from Mark Briggs, they want to be expansive. They want to create overloads. They want to go forward and be methodical in the way that they play. But if you can make them drop down, play defensively, that's when you're just going to put them under a lot of pressure.
Charging forward is Christian Pirano. Torres lost his footing as Pirano sends the cross in. Archimed glances his header wide. Just a little preview, though, of what Christian Pirano can bring to this Sacramento attack.
Just pops into the hole, and then it's 1v3, but look how comfortable he is. The balance, little drop of the shoulder, but also the ability just to create something out of nothing. And then you have Archimed staying high, essentially. Gets a better body position, to be fair, of Stenberg. Doesn't have enough snap over his left shoulder to get it on target. But I do think that weak side for Phoenix Rising needs to be very good and very tuned in terms of their just positioning. Because so many times it's whether Cicerone or Pirano. I mean, that support system, that outlet for Mark Briggs' boys.
It's nodded back very calmly there to Vitiello. A lot in terms of chances on either side in this first 21 or so minutes. Here's Lopez. The mark, find some width. Here's Stenberg. Stenberg keeps it moving. Traore in advanced position. Desmond gets it away. Luis Felipe keeps it moving. Cicerone up for it. Two of the highest scoring teams in the USL Championship, both in the top 5. Right now, chances have been few and far between for both of these sides. Quick foul in the middle.
I think if you're Juan Gary, you just need to get Manuel Arteaga a couple touches. Let him play himself into this game. Extremely quiet, 24 minutes in. You can get him confident, and you can make him pull out, whether it is Timmer, Desmond, or Wheat, step off their line, and then it's going to open up a gap for the freedom of Danny Trejo. As of late, we've just seen Danny Trejo understanding when to run in behind that back line, but also pop into the hole.
Just 8 combined touches for both Trejo and Arteaga. Another foul. That's going to get Renzo Zambrano booked. Go back to the foul a few minutes previous, and that is what the referee is saying. He brought down Pirano earlier, and now it's Lopez.
I mean, both coaches on the sideline have been barking about how physical and the challenge that have come centrally from both of these midfielders. You just see studs are exposed, comes over the right foot of Lopez on the back end of it.
A caution has been issued by the referee.
Greg's finally looking at the fourth, saying thank you for controlling this, because it's been first Juan Garrett, now it's Mark Briggs. But I'll tell you what, if you're Lopez, those do not feel good at all. The studs coming over the right foot, just scraping the top of yourself. Hopefully he's okay to keep on going. Him and Luis Felipe formed a very good relationship centrally for Sac Republic.
Zambrano's already been suspended this year for yellow card accumulation. Now picks up another one. That is now 10 yellow cards this season for Renzo Zambrano. Fuenmayor flicked along, looking for King. Sanchez heads it out, throwing for Phoenix. Trejo for King, back for Trejo. Traore. Zambrano trying to slide that in behind. It was poked away. Archimed is on the chase. Traore coming back defensively. Archimed stumbling, able to keep possession for a moment. Well, he goes down, and he is staying down as the ball's put out of play.
But it just comes off the heels of just a sloppy ball in from Zambrano. There's just no need. Try to force this ball centrally into a trafficked area. And leaves yourself extremely vulnerable going back to the way, because Traore is the supporting cast, and he's already wide. Recovery runs as Archimed comes in. I'll tell you what, Fuenmayor gets away with one here. Just watch the right leg. Other center back comes in and catches the left knee of Archimed. It's late. Clearly steps on him. Fuenmayor, a very lucky man not to see yellow there, but give credit to Archimed. It's exactly the argument that the number 9 has. It's right here. Watch the right leg and the left knee. Studs are exposed at the stomp. The ball's already gone. We've seen yellow given for a lot worse.
This will roll all the way out of play. It seems like every game in this Western Conference, with it being as tight as it is at this part of the table, every game's so important as this is cut back for Trejo. Trejo for Arteaga. Manuel Arteaga wide. Just found a bit of a window to get the shot away. Couldn't put it on target.
The beauty of the space is that if you want, Gary, you want your players to step up, because that's Timber. That's one of the 3 center backs already high up the field. And as Manuel Arteaga, he makes this run. It allows Desmond to drop off, and there's that gap that Danny Trejo just understands. I just pull off my side. Arteaga gets on the end of it, does all the hard part. He creates his own space, a little drag back to his left foot, but just pulls it a bit too wide. We just talk about the fluidity, the creating overloads, and the movement to pull center backs out of position. And you're going to have a lot of success on the back end if you're Phoenix Rising.
Varela. Varela brought down. It's a free kick going to Phoenix Rising. Bit of a delayed reaction there, but looked like Lopez may have caught him.
Lanisha's baiting Lopez to come in. But once again, it's extremely late. It's over the right foot, clear as day. Late reaction or not, does not feel nice. And you just see Juan Garrett not happy with the lack of officiating. I think if you're Zane Brown and you see yellow for that moments ago, Lopez should be seeing the same thing. Yes, there's contact in the initial movement, but it's a follow through. The ball's gone into Gabby Torres' foot.
Free kick lifted in, and this taken by Vitiello. Trejo able to slip this in behind. Vitiello off his line. Had that read to perfection, getting there just before Darnell King.
Really good positioning there for Vitiello, because he knows that there is a threat in behind. And Trejo pops off. Darnell King now has a responsibility to ride that high line. Comes off his line extremely quick. Watch out.
Arteaga into the path of Varela. He knew he wasn't going to get there. It was just out of his reach as Vitiello gets this away. Vision here. Mayor Sanchez just runs out of play. Looks like this will be our first half hydration break. Of course, warm temperatures here in the desert. No score through just over 30 minutes as these two teams will take a few-minute break here.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Due to the extreme high temperatures.
Some milestones for both sides tonight. We mentioned it's Darnell King's 100th appearance for Phoenix Rising, but for Jose Hernandez and Phoenix Rising, he gets the start tonight, and he also gets a milestone, 150 regular season appearances. He gets that milestone here tonight. Of course, Hernandez's time with Oakland, OKC, Los Dos, Real Monarchs as well, and of course he is from the Valley and very happy to get to wear the captain's armband a few weeks back for Jared Timmer. It's also his 100th appearance. The Butler product is reaching the century mark here tonight in the regular season. Garrett talking things over with the fourth official tonight. Both sides have had their own gripes with what has gone on. Not a lot of chances, a lot of physical battles in the middle.
There's also been a lot of weight challenges just coming over the foot of the opposition on both ends. So I do think if you're Mark Briggs and Juan Garrett, there's both arguments to be had. Somehow Sanchez for Sac Republic on a yellow and Zambrano for Phoenix Rising on a yellow card, and that's all we have. I do think this next 15 minutes for both of these sides are going to be extremely important. This game is just begging for someone just to produce that little bit of individual brilliance. So you look at that talent on the field, no question about it, but who's going to stand up and make that difference right before halftime?
Both in the top 6 in terms of big chances created. This might be one here. Cicerone looking for Archimed. On a play, good work from Darnell King to win a goal kick.
And he's a player that you need to get going for, Mark Briggs, much like Manuel Arteaga. Extremely quiet, 35 minutes in. But those players are players that if you can have them just have that little bit of a window inside that 18-yard box, they can make you pay. Be quiet for 89 minutes, but it's that half of a second, that half of a yard, that space, that's all they need to be clinical.
Lofted forward. Sanchez. Oh, this slipped in behind. Archimed. Flag is up for offside. Pre-game with Raising Cane's, proud supporter of Phoenix Rising. Skip the line or order on our easy mobile app for your order of premium fresh hand-breaded chicken fingers, special sauce, and don't forget to add our fresh hand-squeezed lemonade at order.raisingcanes.com. Cicerone. Briggs has talked about the freedom that he has been allowed in this formation. This is rolled into the middle. Trejo's the only one there. Caught out from behind, and Cicerone gets onto it, but a whistle comes. Luis Felipe whistled for the foul.
Talk about Danny Trejo doing the defensive side of the ball. Starts as your dual number 10. He's on top of his 18-yard box. I'll tell you what, that seems like a clean challenge from Luis Felipe. Just swooping motion, gets all of the ball. And you just see frustrated with the call.
Trejo. Lopez.
Great ball.
Great ball into space. It's Gurr onto it. Trying to go first time looking for Pirano. Throw in coming.
I think you have to be very careful now if you're Phoenix Rising, just trying to overcommit, especially on those 50-50 balls. You just see how explosive Sacramento Republic can be with changing the point of attack, the willing runs. Jack Gurr doesn't need a second invitation to get himself in the attacking third. Give credit to Traore. Deny the ball centrally. Zambrano and Jose Hernandez, as one goes to challenge for that 50-50 ball, the other one needs to provide that coverage and stay centrally, just to clog passing lanes.
Trejo lets it run through. King going to ground. Referee wanted to see the advantage play out. Instead, it'll be a yellow card for the Phoenix captain.
A loose ball, and just Sanchez gets it right before Darnell King. Comes in extremely late, takes out the left ankle of the wingback. Don't really know the argument, the Phoenix Rising player. You're looking at a very dangerous set piece once again for the visitors here.
Now a couple important players for Phoenix on yellow cards, Zambrano and King. Sanchez has one for Sacramento. Kerr chipping this forward, nothing doing for Sacramento.
It's the second time Jacker had the best set piece service. Such a difficult technique just to bend that into the path of that near post run, especially if it's an outswing, you're bending away from the goal. So many times when players get in that position, you just move the ball into that back post and cause chaos within the opposing back line. Like your mark break, that's something you're going to talk about at halftime. Be a bit more cleaner to execute set pieces.
Get your tickets now for Rising's Back to School Night on Saturday, September 2nd. Only 6 regular season home matches remain. Don't miss your chance to see Rising battle RGV at 38th Street in Washington here in Phoenix. Call 623-594-9606 or visit phxrisingfc.com. Tickets at just $25. And a big collision there. Fuenmayor and Archimed.
Just takes out Fuenmayor, undercuts him.
Archimed looks to have come out second best in that challenge. Has been in the ear of the fourth official, but trying to get his team into that attacking third. He's talked about trying to break down low blocks quite a bit this season, but he said tonight he really wants to see the ball move quick from his Phoenix Rising side. This has been a physical game. Plenty of challenges have been put in on both sides.
It's interesting because when this game came out, we both expected just the football to take over, but it's been the challenges. Centrally, wide areas, very physical, but somehow only 3 yellow cards given. Zambrano, Phoenix Rising, Darnell King for Phoenix Rising, and Sanchez for Sacramento Republic. A whole lot of worse can have been done. And I do think that's the cream of the crop there. Fuenmayor extremely late on Archimed's left knee. This one gets King in the book here. And both of these players on the back end of it. Archimed just undercuts Fuenmayor, and it's a back end that just falls awkwardly on the back of the neck from the striker for Sacramento Republic. But good to see him up on his own power. With all of those challenges, it's been very hard for both of these sides just to get into rhythm and let the football do the talking. You talked about Wangari wanting to move the ball from left to right, but it's been stoppage after stoppage. It's one of the hardest things as a footballer, just to get the confidence and get the fluidity.
He also mentioned needing to match the intensity and aggressiveness. I think you can check that box. And then he said maybe the talent and the tactics will come through. Here's King in behind. Another collision. Trying to get out of the way of Danny Vizziello, who was coming towards the ball. Darnell King is already on a yellow card. Going to plead his case to the Sacramento players.
I think this will probably give us our best look. I think Vizziello leaned into this one as he picks up the ball, drops his left shoulder to create that contact, because clearly Darnell King's trying to get out of the way. I think it would have been very harsh, Josh, just See another yellow card for Darnell King. The yellow, very clever. Never need the second invitation to venture off his line, where I do think a goalkeeper just tries to create that contact.
When wellness for mind and body is the goal, Day One sparkling water and CBD is always a win-win with 20 milligrams of CBD, real fruit juice, zero sugar, and refreshing effervescence. Score yours at the concession stand today. Your better tomorrow starts today with Day One. Just 3 shots combined in this game, 2 for Phoenix, 1 for Sacramento, although Phoenix is the side that has come a little bit closer to scoring. Manuel Arteaga had the good chance. Again, this will run all the way to the end line where Vitiello claims it. Straight out of play. Crowd starting to get on the Sacramento goalkeeper just a little bit. Right in front of that south end. And we are into 4 minutes of stoppage time. As you mentioned, quite a few stoppages, injuries, hydration break. It's been stop and start, there's no doubt about it. Total fouls between the two sides.
You just see how Sacramento Republic is setting up defensively. All 11 players in their own defensive half. So if you're Phoenix Rising, the ball needs to move extremely quick from left to right to open up gaps, and also the movement on the front line just needs to be a little bit better. You're looking at Manuel Arteaga to make those selfless runs to pull out one of the 3 center backs, and that's when the secondary movement from Danny Trejo becomes so critical, just unlocking this mid to low block, which is Sacramento Republic.
Timmer, Cicerone, here's Luis Felipe. Jack Gurr blocked down.
On the other end, I think if you are Mark Briggs, you have to be very pleased. 47 minutes in on the road, 3 games in a week. How do you manage the first 45 minutes? A team that is going to look for a bit of a revenge that we talked about in the open. You've been very good defensively, disruptive, not letting them play on the ball and get in a rhythm and try to have that little bit of a threat in transition moments. So I think if you're Mark Briggs, you're going to be pleased going into halftime. See if you can catch one when Phoenix Rising is overloading on the attacking phase with the movement of Russell Cicerone, Archimed, and Pirano.
Traore trying to turn the corner on Jack Gurr. Throwing for Phoenix. All the way back to Vitiello. Some pressure from Varela. All the way back to Rios Novo. 90 seconds remain in this first half.
Great ball.
Here's King. King looking to play this into the path of Arteaga. gotten a little bit stale in the attacking third for both sides.
And just lacking ideas from both sides. I think if you're Darnell King, it's just the wrong ball. Arteaga makes that near post run, but the angle's just not there. You need to recycle this ball centrally or play into the feet of Danny Trejo. There's no need trying to force the ball that just isn't there. We saw it earlier in the first half with Rindle Zambrano. And then Sacramento Republic are on the break. Just been back and forth. Someone just looking to get both hands on this game and make it theirs and impose their identity.
2 Sacramento players down. Mayor just celebrated his 31st birthday. No longer the age of his jersey number. Wangara displeased.
Deep in thought, Wangara, always.
And there is the final whistle. Well, not a lot between these two sides, to be completely frank, through 45 minutes. But the second half, maybe things could open up.
We talked about it being cagey coming into this match, and this game was going to be won and lost centrally. Who's going to be cleaner, who's going to dictate tempo, but it's been very back and forth, very disruptive in terms of just fouls. I think if you're that man, Mark Briggs, you need to get Cicerone a bit more on the end of it. Other side, Arteaga and Danny Trejo, extremely quiet. You need your game changer to stand up. This next 45 minutes is going to be really important for both sides.
We've reached halftime here from Phoenix. It's $1 beer night, but we need a goal to celebrate from either side. No score at the break. Phoenix Rising 0, Sacramento 0. Stay with us here from Phoenix.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any 2 roller grill items, just 2 for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Halftime here. It is dollar beer night from Phoenix, Arizona. No score between Phoenix Rising and Sacramento Republic through 45 minutes. Not a lot to split these two sides here at the break, but we are looking for goals in the second half, and it's interesting we're talking about goals because we haven't seen any, but these are two pretty high-scoring teams.
You talk about the attacking presence for both of these sides, especially for Phoenix Rising. Goals from every single point. You have Danny Trejo with 13 goals, Arteaga with 12 goals. Derek Vermel, do we see him in this next 45? 7 goals. If you can get 3 players in and around double digits, you talk about X factors, you talk about game changers, especially that you need once the playoffs come around the corner.
And of course, 6 of those goals for Formella coming with Oakland, but an experienced scorer in this league. We'll see if he can get on the score sheet tonight. On the other side, Sacramento with one more goal than Phoenix, one less goal scorer, but of course they got Russell Cicerone scoring the goals.
And once again, 13 goals on the year, 4 assists. But you talk about getting goals from every different part of the field. The next player, Jack Kerr, is a wing back. 5 goals, 4 assists, the ability just to provide service, get the ball in a dangerous area, and they can score every type of goal, whether it's getting on the end of things, terrific goal, the willingness to get himself in between center backs, but also to pull up from distance. Sacramento Republic, they can score and score for fun.
We look at the Golden Boot race. Of course, 3 of those players in action tonight. Oluwashi did not score in the 0-0 draw for San Antonio, but this is a pretty good race.
It's going to be very interesting to see on the back end of it who stands out, because you talk about players that can score goals and score goals in bunches. Danny Trejo, Nuno Arteaga, who's going to be the leading goal scorer for Phoenix Rising? That's one question, but then you have Cicerone. Is he going to get above these players? It's going to be very interesting, Josh, and I'm all for it.
Well, Trejo, Cicerone, Arteaga all can add a couple maybe tonight in this Golden Boot race and get a little bit closer there to the top. It is halftime here from Phoenix. No score between Phoenix Rising and Sacramento Republic.
It all started in 2017 at the Gold Cup, where Jamaica was playing against Canada here in Arizona. I didn't knew that I was gonna end up here in Arizona. I've loved every single moment that I've had here, because like I came here as a boy and I'm basically leaving as a man. So I've had really like a lot of great memories, a lot of great moments here in Arizona, here at Phoenix Rising. And to be honest, I'm gonna miss it all. It's a bittersweet moment. This is my home. This is my family. I'm gonna be a part of this family for forever. And I just wanna say much love, and I really appreciate you guys.
We love you, and Phoenix Rising is obviously, of course, your home.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
5 home games left. Don't miss the chance to see your Phoenix Rising go head-to-head with Rio Grande Valley Toros as they battle to secure a postseason appearance. Right here in Central Phoenix off 38th Street in Washington. Saturday night at 7:30. Tickets to the match start at $25, and the 2-time Western Conference champions are just 5 stops on the Valley Metro to Phoenix and Tempe. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for more information.
Halftime here from Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street and Washington. No score between Phoenix Rising and Sacramento Republic. Plenty of news around the USL Championship here as we enter September. And how about Corradi Ocean Dienop being transferred to Dutch champions Feyenoord? That's just an absolute factory there at Orange County, moving players over to Europe.
And if you're a young player, that is the place to be. Feyenoord, Ajax, one of those powerhouses in terms of just producing young talent. So hats off to Orange County for getting those players the opportunity to showcase and now making the move overseas. We talked about Roro. He's been massive for Sacramento Republic. He comes back on the pitch Saturday after his having leg surgery, so that's going to be massive for Sacramento Republic going into the playoffs, and then 45 days until the USL Championship regular season is done. So again, these are the games that count, and if you're a player, these are the games that you want to be playing in.
What has gone on around the league tonight? How about a 0-0 drop between RGV and San Antonio, but 3-3. Vegas was up 3-1 before 2 late goals for New Mexico.
You just feel for Cicho Sanchez, a coach that just wants that result so bad. But again, we just talk about managing moments, and Las Vegas Lights time and time again, it's been the same story for their season, not managing their own 18-yard box, and New Mexico comes back late and they get a point.
What is to come this weekend? Plenty of good fixtures on the docket. Sacramento will be in action at Oakland. RGV will come here to Phoenix.
I think you look at the top 2, very interesting. Colorado Springs Switchbacks hosting Blue City, and then New Mexico hosting the Charleston Batteries. So 2 Eastern Conference sides going to the west, but I do think for Sacramento Republic, that game against Oak and Ruth, that's always an interesting one because close in proximity. It's a little bit extra. They're going to be thrown in that one at 10 Eastern, and then El Paso, they're hosting a struggling Monterey Bay.
Those are 2 struggling sides right there at the bottom of the Western Conference playoff picture. It is halftime here from Phoenix, Arizona. A big second half in store between Rising and Republic. The second half is coming up next.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Rio Grande Valley Toros at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health. Carvana will drive you happy. And by NAU Nationwide. First half highlights, Phoenix Rising, Sacramento Republic. We start things off in the 4th minute. Not a whole lot of chances overall, but Darnell King, he tried to make this run a few times.
And he's been very active on this near side, but the ball is so clever because the backline for Sacramento is retreating, so the space is at cutback. Morella just pulls off his leg. That's why you see it go wide. But I do think if you get Perano involved in the attacking third, it's going to be a game changer for Sacramento Republic. Great off the corner, and Archimed unable to get it on target. But he gets a better body position of Stenberg. But you talk about creating overloads, especially on wide areas, and you talk about the relationship essentially. As Manuel Arteaga, he advances. That makes it backline for Sacramento Republic drop off. Danny Trejo picks up the ball, but if you're Manuel Arteaga, you want this one back. You do all the hard work to create your own space, a little drag back. You should be hitting the target from about 10 yards out, and he knows it.
We welcome you back here to Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street and Washington. No score at halftime between Phoenix and Sacramento with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. A late one out east and finishing up out west as well. The month of August here in the USL Championship. The month of September going to be a very important one for plenty of teams across the league, including both of these teams. Phoenix trying to cement that playoff spot, while Sacramento is trying to cement that spot at the top of the Western Conference. Been a busy night for our referee, Sergei Demyanchuk. We'll see what the second half has in store. There's the whistle, and away we go. 45 more minutes tonight from Phoenix. Will we get a winner in this one? Not a lot to split these two in the first 45 minutes. And a big chance for 3 points for both of these sides. Of course, Sacramento coming off the loss against Orange County over the weekend. Phoenix coming off a win, looking for their first win streak since May. No subs at halftime for either side. Here's Hernandez on his 150th USL Championship appearance. Here's Stenberg for Phoenix. Trying to play through the lines. Heavy touch by Arteaga, and it's Lopez.
And those are the moments that if you're Phoenix Rising, you just want someone to run in behind and stretch the three center backs of Sacramento Republic. It's so easy for center backs just to stand centrally and step into that middle third, move from left to right. The problems and the confusion comes when you're facing your own goal. The only way you can do that is just pulling them and having the threat to test the shape. And that's something that's, if you're Juan Gary, you want to see just a tiny bit more here in the second half.
It shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. In 20 of 27 games for Sacramento, they did not allow a first half goal. That is more than any USL Championship team this season. Fuenmayor sends this well out of play. Here's Archimed. Trying to beat Darnell King to it. He got his body between the player and the ball. Now it's out of play. He thought he was pushed down. A throw-in going Sacramento's way. Here's Gurr. Flag up for offside as Arshamed was tracking back. I'm curious to see how both coaches play the second half in terms of subs. Of course, game on the weekend. But if this game's still at 0-0, it's very much there for the taking for either side to go and grasp it.
I also think if you're Phoenix Rising, you need this game just a tiny bit more, just in terms of where you are in the table. You're trying to grow on the performance at Las Vegas, the character and the grit that you showed to go down a goal, come back on the win, 3-2. So how do you rebound from that, especially at home against a very good Sacramento Republic? And for Mark Briggs, challenged his boys saying, look, we just need a better reaction. Very disappointed in our last time out, losing at home against Orange County. So how do we go into Phoenix Rising, a team that we took down very convincingly at home, and spoiled the party once again?
A chance for Phoenix to jump Colorado Springs with a win tonight. They'll play the Switchbacks on the final day of the season. That could be a very intriguing matchup. This one's put out of play.
Just hasn't been clean enough from Arteaga. Has it 50 minutes in, especially in the second half. 2 balls into him, 2 sloppy touches. We expect him to be so clean, so clinical. The goals that he scored in a Phoenix Rising jersey, like last week, the bike from about 18 yards out.
Here's Varela. Win it back in a good area, but his touch puts it out of play. Just one corner kick in this game came from Sacramento in the first half. Traore thumps this out of play. Here's Luis Felipe and Russell Cicerone. Desmond coming forward. Arshamed tried to flick that into the path. Cicerone didn't quite come off. Some pressure here from Arshamed. Got trains, the airport's right here. Planes, trains, and automobiles, Ricky.
You also off to dark, isn't that what they call it?
Sure, why not? Great movie if you haven't seen it. All right, we'll try to usher this out of play. There was a touch on it, and it's a corner kick. Freddy Varela is now just getting back to his feet. A corner kick coming for Sac Republic, second of the match.
And it's those little bit of extra efforts that can make a difference to grind out results, because so many times players just let this ball come across the end line, get in their defensive structure, but Pirano just gives you that little bit to win a very dangerous corner kick right after halftime.
Referee would like a word. Kind of a cheap corner conceded. Sacramento make it prove expensive. Pirano delivers. This is a foul before it ever got into the box. Here's Rios Novo. Acting like that third center back at times. Hernandez. Looking for the run of Trejo. Cut out by Shane Wheat. Stenberg will keep this in play. Juan Mayor. It's Renzo Zambrano. Throw into Phoenix Rising. Stenberg trying to change the game. When it comes to a sports injury, the unknown can be unsettling, but there's one thing that can calm that uncertainty: an answer. Mayo Clinic uncovers answers every day through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. Answers that can lead to more answers and to find a path forward. So if you're looking for answers related to a sports injury, you know where to go. Learn more at sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. Cielo and Timmer. Pirano trying to shake Traore, turns the corner. Still Pirano. Archimed and Cicerone were in the same spot. And it's Stenberg who is a bit shaken up here.
You just see how good Pirano is at just popping off that back line and just creating by himself. On the back end of it, Archimed and Russell Cicerone are just making the same run. You need someone to pull out a center back and the other one have the run down the channel. Coming together, you take out Stenberg on the back end of it. And you see Wangier just asking for the continuation of just fouls after foul, combining. Just see those two players just catches the back end, the left leg of Stenberg, Archimed. I don't think he's a happy camper at the moment. But I do think if that front line goes for Phoenix Rising, that midfield line and back line need to be a bit more compacted. You just start to see those gaps open up. That's a nightmare and a recipe for disaster against the Sacramento Republic side. And I do think if you're Wangier, you're looking at your bench, you're trying to bring in players that can maybe just give something that's been lacking. Whether it is Manjoma, I thought he was terrific at Las Vegas Lights. You have Armanakis, Arfamel that can always come in on that front line and just have that little bit of combination play and that individual brilliance. And I do think around the 65th minute mark, we're going to see Phoenix Rising maybe dip into their bench. Maybe it is for Stenberg, Carlos Harvey, national team duty.
Stenberg has been a big part of this Phoenix Rising team since being recalled from his loan. His 5th appearance in a Rising shirt here tonight. He started 4 matches already for Rising. Looks like they are calling for a sub, and this looks like it's Danny Crutzen, who of course has been out injured. He started all 20 of his matches so far this season. It might be Carlos Harvey instead. We'll see what the changes are in total here from Juan Guerra. Crutzen has been out injured since that Monterey Bay win at the end of July. Juan Guerra, hoping to get him back here soon, is on the bench. And here comes Stenberg back on. Maybe with an eye on Saturday. Wanting to get some other guys some minutes here in the midweek. See what his thinking is. Gurr dispossessed. Varela looking for that quick ball over the top. It's been a tough go of it for Varela so far this year. Just 2 goals and an assist. He's playing in Bulgaria, time in Turkey, Spain, and Portugal as well. Well-traveled 26-year-old Argentine. Still looking for his footing here in the USL Championship. Arteaga gets a touch on it. Hernandez making the run forward, and that's not going to get it done.
Once again, it's just a wrong ball. You do extremely well if you're Manuel Arteaga to force a turnover, but the ball needs to come centrally into Fede Varela. So much green grass for him to operate in as you elect to go to the home run ball. Easily caressed by Vitiello, but it's those moments that you've starved for the ball. 60 minutes in, you try to do way too much when you get control of it.
Looks like Eddie Manjoma preparing to come on, but this is slipped in for Gabby Torres. Square ball, it's Arteaga! Fires it home and fires Phoenix into the lead. 1-0.
Give credit to Varela as he just provides a width wide. Gabby Torres understands the real estate's going to be centrally off the shoulder of Tamer between him and Jack Gurr. The continuation of his run, and it's all about the composure. You need to draw in Vitiello, pick out a red jersey, and it's at number 9 once again, Manuel Arteaga. The pullback of the run off the heels of Danny Trejo because he pulls out Desmond. The real estate is about 12 yards out. First touch out of his body, and then unleashes a rocket into the top of the net. Haven't provided much, but a player that can create something out of nothing. Manuel Arteaga gets his 13th goal on the year, and Phoenix Rising in the lead here at the hour mark.
That goal is presented to you by Gateway Community College. A goal that Phoenix desperately needed tonight, and this game desperately needed just to open things up. We'll see what we get now in these final 30 minutes. And a big-time moment there for Phoenix to get out in front in this one.
I mean, we're talking about Wangare and some of the keys that he mentioned to us. He was just providing the width and those outlets to relieve some of the pressure that they were going to be under against Sacramento Republic. Fede Varela has the freedom, the license to roam around the field and go search for the game. Comes wide, Gabby Torres from a deep lying run. One of the hardest things to do in football is to mark that run because there needs to be a lot of communication, and most of the times that communication it's lost. Not good on the back end in terms of rotation. And it's all about the composure in that final third. Terrific individual goal for Phoenix Rising.
Well, it's Carlos Harvey and Eddie Manjoma who will come on. Carlos Harvey starting for Panama in their most recent friendly against Bolivia, and they ended up getting a 1-0 win in Bolivia, did Panama. Harvey playing a big part in that one. It's Renzo Zambrano who checks out alongside Darnell King. Harvey, who has played basically everywhere this year for Phoenix. We'll see how Juan Guerra wants to place him tonight, but he came in for a midfielder. And now it's a set piece opportunity for Sacramento.
I think if you're Pirano, you're aiming for right between that 6-yard box and penalty mark to bend it into that far post with the oncoming traffic to freeze Rios Novo. If there's any sort of deflection quick enough, they can't make a reaction save, but if no one touches it, it's squeaking to that far post.
Pirano delivers. And a header by Luis Felipe out of play. Well, fans, be sure to visit your local Arizona Financial Credit Union branch to get your Phoenix Rising debit card. It's a great way to support the team and spread the word. Visit ArizonaFinancial.org. Reinforcements on the way for Sacramento Republic as well. As now all of a sudden they are chasing this game.
Tactically, Harvey's going to play centrally next to Jose Hernandez, so that double pivot. Talk about the versatility for Carlos Harvey. We've seen him play on the back line. We've seen him play wide and also play as a center midfielder. So that balance needs to be very good for the remaining of this match for Phoenix Rising. Carlos Harvey's going to stay at home just a tiny bit more. So Jose Hernandez is going to have the ability just to advance himself into that final third, and watch out here.
Arteaga, it's Danny Trejo. Trejo scores! Just like that, Phoenix double the lead. Arteaga to Trejo, who's atop the Golden Boot race, 2-0.
And it's the second time for Sacramento Republic. A bit sloppy in the back. Last week it was Connor Donovan, and now it's a sloppy pass from Desmond. And as he has to recover, it leaves a big hole on the far end. The weak side is so important. There's no reaction from Shane Wheat to come across Danny Trejo. Smells blood in the water, advances himself. The verticality from his run. Doesn't hit it as cleanly as he would like. Vidiel doesn't do enough to push it wide of his post. And off to the corner to celebrate. Danny Trejo gets his goal, and Phoenix Rising, they double their lead.
That goal brought to you by Gateway Community College. Trejo now up to 14 goals. And a couple of subs coming on to the field for Sacramento as they really have to push for this game now. Sebastian Herrera and Zico Lewis have come on for Russell Cicerone and Luther Archimed. Let's see where Sacramento goes from here. Pirano attacking into the smoke, but nothing doing. Did that come off a hand? It's a throw and going Phoenix's way. So Arteaga now up to 13 goals, 5 assists. Trejo up to 14 goals, 5 assists. Those two just keep going back and forth, and what a duo that has been this year for that man, Juan Guerra.
I think that was one of the challenges coming to the season. You bring in those high-powered attacking players. What was the relationship going to look like? Who's going to be unselfish? Who's going to play centrally? Who's going to play off to the right or to the left? But so many times Juan Guerra's flirted with Danny Trejo playing as a number 9, maybe Manuel Arteaga playing underneath, or vice versa, taking turns at that number 9 position. But you just let Arteaga occupy the center backs, and you let Danny Trejo, with his mobility, go where he sees fit. And they've been just terrific. Watch out.
Vitiello is there. Smash and grab from Phoenix. 2 goals in 5 minutes. And Trejo now joins the top of that Golden Boot race with Daniel Lawashai and Albert Dikwa as well. Arteaga not far behind. Remember though, if there's a tie in terms of goals, it's most assists that would break the tie. We'll see how that all shakes out at the end of the season, but both Trejo and Arteaga have done a fair amount of assisting. As Mark Briggs looks on, and this is a bit out of hand here in the last few minutes. Can they get this back in their favor? Find a goal to cut the deficit in half. Pirano is for Herrera. Down the line for Gurr. To the back post. Sanchez has to track this down. Trejo beats him to it. Phoenix have a throw-in. Desmond out wide. Wheat lofting this in. Traore. A missed header by Varela. And Lewis out for Gurr. Gurr whips the cross in. And Joma there to clear it away. It's a better spell though from Sacramento. And whistle will stop play. Flag is up for offside. Best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. In terms of attacking-minded subs, two subs that Mark Briggs has made are two subs you'd think to make in this sort of position, trying to come from behind. Mauro Lopez might be in for a few minutes at the end, we'll see. Did check in late on against Orange County over the weekend, of course, coming back from that injury. Hasn't played since April.
I think an interesting player for Sacramento Republic, Zico Lewis. 3 goals and 2 assists on the year. Yes, in terms of productivity, maybe lacking in that department, but he can create. He can be that withdrawn number 10. He can be that focal point going forward. We talk about the success that he had at Charleston Battery. Hasn't maybe translated in terms of goals and assists, but you can get him firing, you can get him confident. This gives you a different weapon from Mark Briggs. I do think it's going to be a really important 20 minutes for him just to get his footing in a hostile environment, a team that you're losing. That's a hard challenge between those two players.
Varela goes down, and Traore makes a connection there with Pirano, and that will see him into the book. There have been some heavy challenges in this game tonight. Pirano on the receiving one here.
He's just so quick, isn't he? First every 50-50 ball gets there before his individual defender. And if you're Traore, there's no need just to swing through this thing for the fences. You need to get it right. He gets it completely wrong. The best look at it here, catches the left knee of Pirano. Those are the ones as a center back, you just need to step into it. Extremely tough, like we saw moments ago between Lopez and Fede Varela. But as you swing for it, you run the risk of getting it all wrong, and you did just that.
Being helped off the field here by Manuel Arteaga. I'd like to see the show of sportsmanship there from Arteaga. Hopefully it's nothing too serious here for Christian Pirano. Such a bright young talent. You see Demia Villadere. Like Rodrigo Lopez also preparing to come on. This is sent in. Phoenix get it away. Hernandez for Traore. Foul put in by Luis Felipe. Phoenix may be asking, why is that not a yellow card infraction?
Dude, how many challenges have we seen that have come late from both sides? Luis Felipe really gets second foul on the night, but just catches Traore late. So many times we've seen that given a yellow card. It's late, it's from the backside.
Traore deflects off Varela. Out for a Sacramento throw-in. Looks like a triple substitution is in the offing here for Sacramento. Ross, Lopez, Villader all coming on. Looks like Jack Gurr, one of those players coming off. Luis Felipe, another one. Sacramento look forward. And Christian Pirano was the third one. You saw him go down with the injury, and no surprise that he's the final one off. A few more minutes tonight for Rodrigo Lopez in his return from injury. Mark Briggs just saying how important it is for him to be back, not just for his play on the field, but for his character that he brings to this club.
I think when you think of Rodrigo Lopez, you think of that U.S. Open Cup run, right? You talk about the leadership and just what he embodies for the Sacramento Republic organization, the community, and just a true leader on the field. But to have him back on the field with playoffs approaching, I mean, it's just going to do a world of good for Mark Briggs and the boys in white.
Stenberg, call him on the ball. Long ball wasn't quite there. And this runs out of play. It is a hydration break coming with just about 14 minutes to go. Phoenix, a 2-0 advantage.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the high temperature in tonight's match,
join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Rio Grande Valley Toros at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
About 13 minutes to go here from Phoenix. 2 goals in 5 minutes for Rising tonight. If you're just joining us, let's show you what you have missed. It has been a bit of a slow game at times, physical in the middle. And in the 60th minute, this is when the goal scoring got started.
Just watch the movement on the back, and it's Varela. He just peels out, and then it's the continuation of Gabby Torres. No one marks him. No one has the communication as he draws in Vidiello. It's very unselfish, and all the quality comes out within. The little peek over his right shoulder. Everyone's dropping off, so the real say is at top of the bog. Back-to-back games, Manuel Arteaga gets on the score sheet, and then you talk about Mark Briggs, something he talked to us, Josh, on the phone call, said he needs to be better in the back. Too many mistakes as of late. A ball centrally from Desmond Trimmer, not quite up to it, and then it's a weak side. Danny Trejo, the ability just to get himself in a dangerous area. He doesn't hit it as well as he would like, but Vidiello cannot push it wide of his post. 2-0 for Phoenix Rising.
"12 minutes to go. And we are back underway. You can score your new career at Gateway Community College. With Gateway, you can achieve your dream career in less time and for less money. Get started at gatewaycc.edu. A whistle, free kick to Sacramento. Lopez standing over it. Chested down for Ross. Good ball movement here from Sacramento. Lopez tries to get the cross in, but couldn't get it by Carlos Harvey. Torres cut down. Zico Lewis with the foul. How about Gabby Torres this year, as we will see the foul again? Up to 6 assists on the season. I think that's kind of gone under the radar for Torres, who's battled some injuries, but he's been a big part of this team when he's been on the field.
I mean, you talk about the wide players for Phoenix Rising, whether it is Monjoma, whether it is Darnell King, but also we've seen Jai, but he's gone on to the Oakland Roots. It's the fluidity, the different looks that Wangira has at his disposal. So it gets lost in translation between Gabby Torres. He's been so good, has a very good understanding of when to press high, but also when to peel back. Very comfortable on the ball. We've seen him the ability just to pick out a pass, have that finishing touch. And I do think, like you said, Josh, he's been extremely underrated since coming to Phoenix Rising.
Loaded forward, Fuenmayor there to cut it out. And here's Trejo. Turned over. Sacramento trying to go quick. It'll run all the way through for Rios Novo. Ten minutes to go. There's a chance for Sacramento to go back to the top of the Western Conference with 3 points tonight after San Antonio dropped points away at RGV. But with how things are standing now, Phoenix looking for its first win streak since May and a chance to jump into 6th spot tonight. Just 2 points behind 4th place Oakland Roots, 5th place San Diego Loyal, both on 40 points. You have the same amount of games played as Oakland, 1 more played than San Diego. And 2 more subs coming for Phoenix Rising. Panos Armanakis coming onto the field.
Is number 10.
Now, Fede Varela will check out. He had the hockey assist, if you will, for one of the 2 goals tonight. Also be Uzo checking in.
I was just about to say, it's that pass before the pass that's so important for Fede Varela. The movement is not a lot, but enough just to create confusion within the back line of Sacramento Republic. And as we see Uzo come in for Gabby Torres, 2 players between Fede Varela and Gabby Torres that had a very good shift. 82 minutes here.
Lopez looking for that penetrating pass through the middle. Just has not been there tonight for Sacramento. Still have not had a shot on target in this game. And just 2 shots total, 1 in either half. I'd venture to guess this would be the first game this season without a shot on target. If they're not able to get one, Villader trying to change that. Armanakis. Flicked along, Lopez. Herrera trying to keep it moving. Now he'll try to keep the ball in play, and Stenberg has that bounce out of play, but it's a corner kick coming for Sacramento. What can they make of this? Lopez delivers. The header is looping into the corner. Shane Wheat. And Sacramento Republic have pulled one back. It's 2-1, 6 minutes to go.
When you're not creating changes through the run of play, especially on the road. Set pieces are a brilliant way to claw yourself back into this game, but it just needs to be playing out better for Phoenix Rising. Too many players on their heels. This is not X and O's. This is just a willingness to get on the end of it and to beat your individual mark. Don't even know if Shane Wheat gets his head on it. It hits off his shoulder, but he gets it better of Fuenmayor. Clear as day. Head back across where it came from. Not even a courtesy dive from Rios Novo. Now we have a very interesting remaining 6 minutes here.
Phoenix trying to hold on for Shane Wheat. That's his first goal in his Sacramento shirt. And his first goal since last July when he scored for Pittsburgh against Hartford Athletic in a 2-1 win.
You're going to be very frustrated if you're Juan Guerra. Yes, you get 2 goals, but the clean sheet is just almost as important. It means there's defensive compactness, box defending, and that was another key that he mentioned to us. But Mark Briggs, you have to be very happy playing out your best 85 minutes in terms of football. You find a way to get yourself back into this game and make things very interesting on the back end of this.
First shot on target. It's the first one to find the back of the net. Just 3 total shots in this game from Sacramento. 5 minutes to go. Phoenix now all of a sudden trying to hold on at home. Adair being pestered by Manjoma. I think he wanted the advantage to be played, and now the referee, a stern talking to.
Just talk about how you cause that corner for Sacramento Republic. It comes centrally into and through the combination play of Zico, Luis, Roro, Lopez, and Herrera. Little flick over the shoulder, you put pressure on the back line for Phoenix Rising, and then you win a very dangerous set piece. So now, in the remainder of this match, set pieces are going to be extremely important. How dangerous can they be for Sacramento Republic here?
Sacramento trying to avoid its first losing streak of the season. Phoenix looking for its first winning streak since May. Slipped in behind. Roro Lopez. Did it go out of play? And it looks like it's another corner kick for Sacramento Republic. Let's see what they can make of this one.
But much like Phoenix Rising's goal, you pull out your number 10, clear as day still in. You pull out your number 10 wide. It just creates that little bit of confusion. Who's going to step? Who's going to drop? Roro Lopez has been terrific since coming on.
Lopez serves. The header's down. Oh, the sting taken out of it and held onto by Rios Novo.
Good ball in with a lot of pace and a lot of whip. And it's Timmer. Knows he should be doing a little bit better. Just gets over the top of the ball. Does well to get the better of Uzo and beats Stenberg off his line, but just heads it straight into the ground.
We should mention for Rodrigo Lopez his 3rd assist of the season as Arteaga is sprawled out on the ground and not moving. Sacramento, though, continuing to play on. Lopez. Phoenix unhappy that Sacramento's not playing this out. This is played in towards Rios Novo. I don't think he liked that one at the end. Juan Guerra not pleased.
A caution has been issued by the referee. The Phoenix Rising FC number 8, Jose Hernandez.
Hearing that Jose Hernandez has had his name taken. Arteaga trying to get back to his feet here.
First glance, there's just no ill will there from Desmond, just comes over the top. And by law, Sacramento Republic does not need to play the ball out. Garrett, extremely argument with the fourth referee. Not happy with lack of courtesy from the visitors to play it off. Sergei to call it back.
Arteaga comes away with it. Arteaga touches it in fields, and a big block put in by Jared Timmer. It's a corner kick for Phoenix Rising. First of the match.
I think he's such a handful to deal with. Because by trait, big physical number 9, likes to play with his back to goal, but can create on himself. Very technically sound. Little cutback sends Wheat packing, but give credit to Timmer. Comes across last-ditch defending effort. Manuel Arteaga, as of late, has been feeling it and has been so confident, especially in around his own attacking 18-yard box.
This kick brought to you by Carvana, proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. Carvana will drive you happy. They play it short, and it's out of play. 6 minutes will be added on, and it looks like a substitution is coming here for Phoenix. Let's see if the referee wants to take this now. Looks like he will, and it is the return of Daniel Crutzen, his first game back in a month. He was injured in that game against Monterey Bay on the road. It is the end of the night for Jose Hernandez. Final sub of the game. Big for Juan Guerra to get Daniel Crutzen back. He started 20 games this season. He did not check out in any of them until the one he got injured in. When he's been on the field, he has been an Iron Man for Phoenix Rising, and a big part of that back line, both defending and with his distribution on his left foot. But they'll need his defending now as Sacramento comes forward, looking to find a late equalizer here on the road. Damia Villader.
Just see how many numbers on top of that 18-yard box for Phoenix Rising. You have Uzo, Fuenmayor, Traore, Crutzen, and Stenberg.
Lofted forward again. There's Stenberg to head it away. Headed forward once more. Ross plays it back. Lopez.
I do think for Sacramento Republic, just whipping the ball into a dangerous area. Yes, you want to do that, but you have to be smart about how you do it. Just look at the physical presence on that back line. You want to keep the ball on the ground, maybe have them great little back heel.
Arteaga for Trejo. Can Phoenix put this away for good? Danny Trejo right down the chute, taken by Vitiello.
Just think he makes the wrong decision in the end. Danny Trejo requires so much attention. We're just waiting for the secondary run, someone to come around the corner, or that combination play in the end. Here, Juan Guerra just going to be begging for a little bit more productivity on that instance.
Sacramento has not won here in Phoenix since 2018. And this, a foul against Uzo, and a free kick coming. His reaction says it all. Like a yellow card, maybe given to Carlos Harvey. Confirm that.
A caution has been issued by the referee to Phoenix Rising FC number 67. Carlos
no need for Uzo to dive in that. Sanchez does extremely well. Just move your feet, keep him wide. Don't even give the referee the chance to blow the whistle. And once again, if you're Sacramento Republic, this ball is a lot deeper. Trying to be a bit clever for Raul Lopez.
What's the worst he's going to say? No?
True. You don't know if you try, right?
Here's a look at the Carlos Harvey yellow card. Pretty cut and dry. Big moment here, about 90 seconds to go. Might get a little bit more than that. As Roro Lopez stands over this. Zico Lewis all alone at the top of the area. And he will get the ball. It's Zico Lewis. He hit his own teammate. Sanchez couldn't get out of the way. Looking for Lopez again. And that ball's out of play. Just unfortunate there for Sacramento Republic. They had that played, I think, exactly how they wanted.
Just makes a mess of it, Zico Lewis. There's information on the spot from Roro Lopez because he hits it with just enough pace. And Zico Lewis just needs to run onto it and just get clean contact on the ground. Scuffs off his right foot and right into his teammate. And as he tries to recover for his mistake, hits the ball out of bounds. Those are the ones that you just need to get your hips around it, head down, shoulders over the ball, and just unleash it into that near post because there's so much traffic in front of Rio Snovo. It'll be very difficult for a goalkeeper to keep that out.
Timmer coming forward. Not much left in this game. Desmond. Here's Roro Lopez. Lee Desmond. Demia Villader. Cleared away. And Trejo trying to run away. That ball stayed in play. Made about 3 people on the way through. Sacramento come away with it.
Just tired legs from Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga.
Header away by Fuenmayor. Crutzen. And that is the final whistle. And Phoenix get a massive 2-1 win over Sacramento Republic. A first winning streak since May. And for Sac Republic, their first losing streak of 2023.
Massive 3 points for Juan Guerra. You talk about you need your big-time players to stand up in big-time games. Danny Trejo, Manuel Arteaga get number 14 and number 13 on the score sheet. The way that they went about their business, very compact defensively. Box defending was a key for Juan Guerra coming in. You executed in that department. And then little instances, probably not your best game of football, but you execute on the far end of it. 2 wins on the bounce, first at Las Vegas and now against a very good Sacramento Republic. If you're Juan Guerra, you have to be very pleased with your team's performance.
Let's take a look at our save of the game. It is presented by Truly Nolan. There wasn't much in this, but Rio Snovo, when he was needed, this is what he was doing.
Yeah, not tested enough. Yes, he concedes a goal, but very confident when he came off his line. Roro Lopez, I think it's a cross into Herrera. Rio Snovo comes off his line and takes off the contact on the back end of it. Not happy, but once again, job well done defensively for Phoenix Rising.
A massive 3 points for Phoenix. It'll move them into a higher spot in the table. They're up to 6th spot on 38 points. That's what 2 wins can do for you in a couple of days. We'll come back and we'll wrap things up. Full time from Phoenix. Phoenix Rising 2, Sacramento Republic 1.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Hey, Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any 2 roller grill items, just 2 for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Full time tonight from Phoenix, Arizona, and it's Phoenix Rising 2, Sacramento Republic 1. A big result for Phoenix tonight. As we take a look at our full-time highlights, we'll start things off in the 60th minute, right at the hour mark. Gabby Torres making things happen and finding the first goal.
He just peeled to a wide area, and then it's all confusion within the back line of Sacramento Republic. If you're Timmer, if you're Gerd, no one steps, no one drops, and then it's all about the composure to pick out a red jersey. You draw in Vidiel with that little bit of hesitation, and it makes all the difference of the world. Manuel Arteaga is never going to miss from there, is he?
65th minute, it's Varela starting it again, but this time Arteaga to Trejo.
Just sloppy in the back first with Desmond, then it's Trimmer, no one on the same page, and no rotation whatsoever from Wheat on the back end. You leave that big gaping hole. Danny Trejo picks himself up, makes no mistake about the finish, but you get one back with Wheat. Just beats his own individual defender. Terrific header back to across where it came from. Not even a courtesy dive from Rios Novo.
A look at the Western Conference standings as Phoenix Rising has moved into 6th spot. Full time here from Phoenix, and a big win for Rising at home. They needed 3 points. They got 3 points. That'll do it for our entire crew. Broadcast partner Ricky Lopez Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. Good night from Phoenix, where Rising are victorious.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.